Today's news highlights 20250806. Date August 6, 2025. Republic of China August 6, 114. Time cutoff, 1500 hours on the same day. News focus: aflatoxin is a first-class carcinogen that can easily cause liver cancer and cannot be killed even at high temperatures. It is commonly found in damp foods such as grains, nuts, dried fruits, spices, etc., and even wooden cutting boards may contain poison. Animal products such as meat and dairy products may also be indirectly toxic due to feed contamination. Doctors remind you to choose products with complete packaging and quality assurance, and regularly clean kitchen utensils and store ingredients properly to reduce the risk of toxins. News focus: traditional Chinese medicine physician Chen Chaozong pointed out that massaging the 3 acupoints of Hegu, Shaozhen Li, and Kuka can enhance immunity and relieve the initial symptoms of EBV infection. In terms of tea, mung bean licorice tea can detoxify, and when stable, astragalus can be added to improve immunity. Sashin Myadong decoction helps relieve dry mouth and ulcers caused by nasopharyngeal cancer treatment. Honeysuckle chrysanthemum tea has heat clearing, detoxifying, antiviral and throat moisture-rising effects, helping to prevent upper respiratory tract inflammation and cancer. News focus: the latest Australian research shows that breast cancer survivors can promote muscle secretion by 20-30% by performing heavy training or high-intensity interval exercise. Exercise can reduce inflammation, cancer recurrence, and mortality. Experts emphasize that exercise must be carried out continuously to be effective, and it is recommended to start with simple training such as freehand squats, combined with professional guidance and resource promotion, to help cancer patients establish regular exercise habits, strengthen the body, and fight cancer positively. News focus: China's electric vehicle giant BYD reported that it hosted a banquet for the staff of the Legislative Yuan through an agent, which aroused concern from the outside world about whether lobbying and national security concerns were involved. Experts warn that its low-price strategy may hide 3 major risks: battery safety, data control, and industrial impact. BYD has also been questioned about entering Taiwan by assembling vehicles in third places. The Ministry of Economic Affairs emphasized that it will strictly prevent Chinese brand cars from entering the market in various forms, and formulate strengthening control measures to maintain the island's industry and national security. News focus: TSMC broke out of a 2nm technology leak case, and a number of former employees were suspected of stealing process data and handing it over to Japanese company Tokyo Power Science and Technology Innovation engineers, including mobile phone reproduction of more than 1,000 technical drawings. TSMC's internal monitoring reported the abnormality to the prosecution after it was discovered, and 3 people have been detained. The prosecution is being investigated in accordance with the national security law, emphasizing that it will be strictly prosecuted to safeguard Taiwan's semiconductor technology advantages and national security. News focus: American investigative journalist Natalie Winters revealed that the CCP has long infiltrated the Federal Reserve through lure, inducement, and academic cooperation, in an attempt to steal economic secrets and influence monetary policy. The Senate report said that at least 13 Fed employees were involved, and even senior advisors were accused of cooperating with the CCP's intelligence units. A number of cases show that the CCP has used visiting professors, talent programs, and other methods to infiltrate, and the Fed's internal regulatory negligence has raised national security concerns. The report called on the United States to conduct a comprehensive investigation and strengthen prevention of foreign interference in the financial system. News focus: the beginning of autumn is coming on August 7, 2025, although it is still in the season of autumn tiger in the dog days of summer. Traditional Chinese medicine recommends that autumn health should focus on nourishing yin and moistening the lungs, avoid spicy and hot foods, eat more white lung-nourishing fruits and vegetables such as lotus root, white fungus, and sour fruits such as grapefruit and pineapple, and nourish the spleen and stomach with tonic ingredients such as pumpkin and lotus seeds. At the same time, it can massage Taekong and Hegu acupoints to help qi and blood circulate. The folk customs of the beginning of autumn include biting autumn to eat melons, boiling catalpa paste to treat ulcers, and swallowing red beans to drink autumn water to prevent dysentery, with early bed and early rise and moderate exercise, to help the body and mind adapt to the autumn solar term and spend autumn comfortably. News focus: US President Trump said in an exclusive interview with CNBC on the 5th that he will announce semiconductor and chip tariffs in the coming week to promote chip production in the United States, and mentioned that TSMC will invest $300 billion in Arizona to build the world's largest chip factory. At the same time, drug tariffs will gradually increase to a maximum of 250% to promote drug manufacturing in the United States. Trump also threatened to significantly increase tariffs on India as India continues to buy Russian crude oil. He mentioned that the Fed's successor has not yet been decided and said that he may not seek re-election as president. For China, he is willing to meet with Xi Jinping before the end of the year in hopes of reaching a trade deal. News focus: in recent years, there have been frequent cases of leaks of ghosts in Taiwan's major technology companies, and TSMC, UMC, MediaTek, HTC, etc. have all broken out trade secret leakage incidents. TSMC has not only recently leaked 2nm key data by employees, but also engineers have taken away a large number of secrets and transferred to mainland companies in the past. The mainland semiconductor industry actively poached Taiwanese talents, leading to a number of technology theft cases and even illegal poaching. UMC, Mediatek, and HTC have also encountered employees taking away key technical documents. The panel industries such as Chime and AUO have also broken out a number of leaks of technology jumping to mainland companies, showing that Taiwan's high-tech industry is facing serious internal security threats. News Focus: The United States will announce the results of the investigation into semiconductors and tariff measures under Section 232, and the Financial Supervisory Commission is highly concerned. In 2024, the revenue of Taiwan's listed companies in the United States will reach 7.71 trillion yuan, accounting for 17.3% of total revenue, and the electronics and semiconductor industries will be the most affected. If the tax of origin is adopted, even if the chips are assembled and exported by a third place, they may still be subject to tax collection, and the impact will extend to end products such as laptops and mobile phones, impacting the entire electronic supply chain. Enterprises have begun to respond, and the FSC requires close monitoring and reminding that significant impacts must be disclosed in real time to ensure market transparency. News Focus: The Legislative Yuan passed the amendment to the goods tax regulations on the third reading on the 5th, exempting 4 major appliances such as packaged sugar-free beverages and televisions, video recorders, record players, and tape recorders, and is expected to reduce taxes by about 1.6 billion yuan per year. The Legislative Yuan accompanied a resolution requiring the Ministry of Finance and Consumer Protection authorities to supervise the industry to return tax reduction benefits to consumers. The main reason for the amendment is to promote health, reduce sugar intake, and because the 4 major appliances are necessary for people's livelihood and have limited tax revenue. The Ministry of Finance said that the commodity tax has the function of guiding consumption, hoping that tax reduction can implement price feedback and promote reasonable consumption. News Focus: Wu Zongxian spent 40 million yuan last year to acquire the 60-year-old Tainan store Lao Tang beef noodles and handed it over to his son Liu Zipei and his girlfriend Liu Dinggui. On the 28th of last month, Liu Zipei picked up his girlfriend with his father's 6.66 million yuan Tesla after visiting the store, went to the high-end Japanese restaurant Xinyu for dinner, and returned to the Jiadi Palace foreclosure house purchased by Wu Zongxian in 2019 for more than 80 million yuan. Liu Dinggui's appearance is more rounded than before, and she is accused of being pregnant, and the agent denied the pregnancy rumors, and said that the relationship between the two is stable and hopes that the outside world will give space and respect. News Focus: Cai Ruishan, the founder of Blue Bird Bookstore, was known as the Blue Bird Goddess because of her sweet appearance, but it was revealed that before Fengzi got married in 2017, she went abroad many times with the then-married Wu Nan, and was recognized by the court as a mistress and awarded 500,000 yuan in compensation. After marriage, she rarely made her husband public, and was recently photographed holding hands with Zhang Taizi, the married founder of Verse magazine, on the streets of Shibuya, Japan, and the relationship aroused associations. Cai responded that holding hands was caused by the atmosphere and hoped that the outside world would respect privacy, but Zhang did not respond. News Focus: The Chinese Taipei men's basketball team got off to a good start by defeating the Philippines 95-87 in the first game of the Asian Cup. However, the host of the post-match press conference came out one after another, not only calling the name of the main player Chen Yingjun wrong, but also misrepresenting the Philippine coach Kong En as the coach of the Chinese team, Tuki. What's even more outrageous is that Chen Yingjun's jersey is clearly printed with Chinese Taipei, and the host actually called it China Taipei twice, which caused strong dissatisfaction among Taiwanese fans. News Focus: Shen Yulan felt unwell at home on July 29 and was sent to the emergency department of the Tri-Service General Hospital, and the examination found that the liver index exceeded 10,000, and then she was transferred to the intensive care unit. Due to the previous health examination without abnormalities, the illness shocked the entertainment industry. Yaya only reported safety in the community afterwards, without revealing the cause, and the outside world continued to pay attention. It was rumored that she might hold a press conference with her attending physician today, but she did not respond. News Focus: In September last year, Taichung Zhili passenger transport number 305 bus turned left next to Miyahara Ophthalmology and hit a 20-year-old female college student surnamed Lin from Tunghai University who was traveling on a pedestrian crossing and her classmates, killing one person and injuring one. The driver, Shi Nan, was indicted on charges of manslaughter in April this year. Lin's family accused yesterday that the driver was suspected of fatigue driving in violation of the terms of liability insurance, causing the insurance company to refuse compensation, and Zhili was only willing to pay 300,000 yuan to settle, which was far from the attitude of publicly apologizing and promising responsibility after the incident. News Focus: Actress Ye Xin posted an article on the 5th angrily denouncing that the entrance of her garage was parked in a black car and blocked the exit, causing her to be unable to drive out to run her class schedule. She was so angry that she approached the door of the other party with the front of the car in the heavy rain to protest, and denounced the owner to her face as very unstandard. The owner of the car only replied "I'm sorry" and left, which made Xin even more angry, bluntly saying that he wished the other party I can't find a parking space in my life, and even angrily scolded the owner of the car who parked indiscriminately is really going to die, and finally missed the trip because of the horse roar for half an hour. News Focus. U.S. President Trump claimed on the show on the 5th that TSMC will invest $300 billion in the United States to build the world's largest semiconductor factory, which has attracted attention. However, TSMC clarified that the U.S. investment plan is still the announced $165 billion, covering 6 fabs, 2 advanced packaging plants and R&D centers in Arizona, and will adjust the construction and mass production schedule according to customer needs. The first plant has mass-produced the N4 process, which will be advanced to 2nm and more advanced technology, and about 30% of the advanced process capacity will come from the United States after completion. News Focus. Chinese mainland automobile brand BID, through its agent Swire Motors, plans to introduce Denza models from Thailand to Taiwan for sale, which has aroused concern from all walks of life. The Ministry of Economic Affairs made it clear yesterday, 5th, that based on national security, vehicle safety, information security, and industrial development and other considerations, it will strictly prevent such detour imports. At present, the inspection of Denza models has been stopped, and the relevant ministries and commissions will amend the detailed regulations in accordance with cross-strait regulations to completely ban the direct or indirect import of Chinese mainland cars. The Ministry of Communications emphasized that all imported vehicles must pass a number of inspections such as vehicle safety, energy consumption, and pollution emissions, and obtain certificates before they can be put on sale. News Focus. The Sea Tiger submarine of the 256th Squadron of the Naval Fleet Command was instantly swelled while on duty on December 21 of the previous year, causing 6 people to fall into the sea, 3 people to be rescued, and 3 people to be missing and not found. His Chinese Sergeant Chief Lam Chun-wing fell into the sea while assisting in the rescue and has not been traced to this day. Lin Junrong's widow petitioned the court to declare her dead in January this year, and the Tainan District Court officially announced Lin Junrong's death at noon on December 21 last year, 6 months after public notice. Last year's Soldiers' Day, Lin Junrong was honored by the Tainan city government to commemorate his dedication to the military and heroic deeds. News Focus. U.S. President Trump said on CNBC on the 5th that he will announce new tariffs on semiconductors and chips next week, aiming to promote American manufacturing, and claimed that TSMC will invest $300 billion in Arizona. TSMC has clarified that the U.S. investment is $165 billion. At the same time, Trump also plans to impose high tariffs on drugs. Former British Prime Minister Johnson, who came to Taiwan to participate in the forum, praised Taiwan's chip technology, called on democratic countries to firmly support Taiwan, and suggested that Taiwan and Trump reach an agreement to let him win to ensure peace and the status quo in the Taiwan Strait. News Focus. The latest research points out that if you eat dinner after 8 p.m., lack of exercise after meals, and go to bed quickly, the risk of stomach cancer may increase to 7.4 times that of the general population. Dr. Chen Suanwei of the Tri-Service General Hospital reminded that dinner should be completed before 8 o'clock, do not eat within 3 hours before going to bed, take a walk for at least 10 minutes after meals, and high-risk groups should do gastroscopy and pylori testing regularly. Helicobacter pylori infection increases the risk of gastric cancer by 5.6 times, and timely sterilization can reduce the risk by 50%. Dr. Chen emphasized that stomach cancer is mostly due to the accumulation of lifestyle habits, and called on the public to pay attention to regular work and rest and health check UPS. News Focus. The owner of Dawen Beiji Bento made a 69 yuan bento, but some netizens complained that the amount of side dishes was small and the main dish of pork ribs was only 4 pieces, and the rice was also very thin, questioning whether it was leftovers or stolen food. The photo shows that the side dishes in the bento box are not full, and the small amount of meat has sparked heated discussions among netizens, with some people sarcastically saying that the meat was stolen halfway or the boss sold leftovers as bento boxes. The store responded that due to the new opening and lack of experience, it would review and improve, and asked for everyone's understanding. News Focus. Shen Yulin was urgently admitted to the Taipei 3rd General Intensive Care Unit on July 29 due to explosive hepatitis, and liver and pancreatic diseases have been ruled out after examination, and the hepatitis has been controlled, but due to high white blood cells and damage to internal organs, she is now transferred to the Department of Hematology and Oncology to further trace the cause. The medical team has arranged a number of tests and installed drainage tubes to drain the ascites. Shen Yulin's recent heavy work may be the main cause of her health damage, and she is still under treatment and observation. News Focus. 42-year-old singer Wei Ruxuan admitted her love to 21-year-old internet celebrity Ian, causing a relationship dispute with Ian's ex-girlfriend Ruying. Wei Ruxuan emphasized that both parties are single, but Ian and Ruying were still photographed dating intimately in early August, and then announced their breakup. Friends around her revealed that Wei Ruxuan just wants to grasp the moment, insist on love in time, ignore the age gap and criticism from the outside world, and the relationship between the two is only a short love song during the summer vacation, and Ian is about to leave Taiwan. News Focus: a Chinese company called Zhongtianji is using artificial intelligence, AI, to conduct cognitive warfare against Taiwan on the eve of Taiwan's 2024 general election. The company uses AI technology to control public opinion, intensify political divisions through psychological profiling and bot account networks, and collect more than 5,000 sensitive data such as Taiwanese personal information and political tendencies. Founded by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, Tianji has worked closely with the military and high-level intelligence services to help crack down on dissent in Hong Kong. The study points out that such AI control methods are threatening the open and pluralistic debate of democratic societies, and the boundaries between monitoring and persuasion are becoming increasingly blurred. News Focus: Cathay Pacific Flight CX565 was originally scheduled to fly from Osaka to Taipei at 4:20 p.m. yesterday, but was delayed several times due to technical problems and finally took off at 7:21 p.m. Some passengers took the flight back to Taiwan first, but found that all the luggage of the entire plane was lost, and the airline only said that it would deliver it to the door, without giving much explanation, which made the passengers very dissatisfied. In order to cooperate with the load adjustment, the airline temporarily unloaded the luggage, promised to deliver it as soon as possible today, and provided accommodation and catering compensation. Cathay Pacific stressed that passenger safety is the top priority, apologized for the incident and thanked for understanding. News Focus: Shen Yulin was admitted to the 3rd General Intensive Care Unit on July 29 due to explosive hepatitis, and the cause is still unknown. The hospital has ruled out liver and pancreatic problems through a number of detailed examinations, but due to high white blood cells and damage to internal organs, he has been transferred to the Hematology and Oncology Department for treatment, suspected of having lymphoma. Shen Yulin's hepatitis has been controlled, and her abdominal fluid is serious, and she is undergoing further examinations such as PET imaging. Previously, the sudden weight loss and sallow complexion had raised concerns about pancreatic cancer, but it has been ruled out and no surgery is required. News Focus: Taiwan's information security community broke the news that the ransomware group Devman recently released a list of 4 Taiwanese victim companies on the dark web, although the full names were not disclosed, claiming to have hundreds of GB of data, and the ransom ranged from $1 million to $6 million, suspected of locking listed companies. Devman, an emerging ransomware as a service (RAS) group in 2025, has a strategic attack and blackmailed Thailand's Ministry of Labor in July. Information security experts pointed out that Devman attacks cover specific industry chains and force enterprises to compromise through psychological pressure tactics, and it is recommended to introduce zero-trust architecture, deception techniques, ransomware drills, and joint supply chain defense to strengthen overall protection. News Focus: US President Donald Trump said in an exclusive interview with CNBC that TSMC will invest $300 billion in the United States, raising concerns about whether the investment amount will increase significantly. However, TSMC did not respond positively to Trump's statements, only reiterating that its current investment plan in the United States is the announced $165 billion. The investment plan includes 3 new fabs, 2 advanced packaging facilities and 1 major R&D center, making it the largest foreign direct investment in U.S. history. Trump also revealed that he will announce new tariff policies on semiconductors and chips in the coming week to promote more key technology products to be manufactured in the United States. News Focus: Maud Sharos Lee, a former member of Malaysia's rap group in the 90s, recently suffered a stroke at work the next day after eating 7 kampong durians in a row, and his mouth was still full of durian when he was sent to the hospital for emergency treatment. After a month of treatment, the right side of his body was still paralyzed, unable to work and forced to take unpaid sick leave, and his life was in trouble. Dino receives weekly rehabilitative massages at a high cost. The Communications Department and various agencies visited and provided assistance upon learning of the situation. The Ministry of Communications said that from the beginning of this year to the end of July, a total of 61 former artists were helped tide over the difficulties. Dino promised to pay attention to his diet and take his medication regularly to avoid cholesterol clogging blood vessels. News Focus: Xue Jiayan was recently rumored to have been defrauded of 200 million yuan by her boyfriend, and she clarified through her friends that the news was all false, emphasizing that her current life is happy and fulfilling. She pointed out that false information such as remarriage, boyfriend change and deceived on social media is purely fabricated, and will retain the right to pursue legal action, and asked the relevant media to immediately withdraw misleading reports. Xue Jiayan thanked her friends for their concern, said that her family was happy and her work was going well, and called for an end to false reports about her and her relatives and friends. News Focus: The new abbot of the Shaolin Temple in mainland China, Shi Yinul, implemented the 996 reform of Buddhism, strictly controlled work and rest and practice, cleaned up commercial stalls, banned the use of entertainment mobile phones, and required recitation of scriptures in the morning, plowing the fields and practicing in the afternoon. The new regulations include getting up at 3:30 a.m., reciting 3 scriptures, cancelling lunch breaks, limiting mobile phones to half an hour, eating vegetables and tofu only once a week, and reducing outings to twice a year. The reform led to the departure of more than 30 monks within a week, and the new abbot emphasized the restoration of the tradition of not working for a day, not eating for a day, and planned to implement a last-place elimination system to strictly assess monks. News focus Wei Ruxuan confessed to her boyfriend Ian, who was 21 years younger than her, last month, but then fell into a complex triangular emotional entanglement and was suspected of becoming a mistress, and her mood was tormented. Ian broke up with his ex-girlfriend Ru Ying ambiguously, and was even photographed dating intimately, which put Wei Ruxuan in an awkward situation. Recently, Wei Ruxuan has been busy with work and did not appear in the live broadcast, and shared work photos through IG to report safety. Hit FM said its show was pre-recorded. On the other hand, Ian and Ru Ying have risen in popularity on social platforms, and Ru Ying is more active in sharing life, showing that they have gradually come out of the emotional haze. News focus Taiwan's common colored hemmed wood pulp yarn rag has recently become popular in Japan, with high practicality, can effectively remove oil stains and dry quickly without leaving odors, and has even become a popular product for Japanese purchasers. Taiwanese netizens have polarized comments on this rag. Some people think it is easy to smell and difficult to use, and some people appreciate its absorbency and cleaning power. Japanese bloggers have also recommended this rag, regarding it as a god rag, and suggested choosing Taiwan's unique colored hemmed model as a souvenir, because it is rare in the Japanese market. News focus US President Donald Trump has significantly increased tariffs, prompting countries to invest billions of dollars in the United States. U.S. Tariff revenues will reach $152 billion, about NT $4.5 trillion, in 2025, triggering criticism of global blackmail. Harvard economist Jason Foreman warned that the move would plunge the United States into recession, while exporters such as Europe, Japan, and South Korea could benefit, while China would have less impact because it adhered to its own development path. But Heyman pointed out that the U.S. tariff rate is from 3% it rose to nearly 20%, harming consumer rights and exacerbating trade tensions. He also said that Trump's tariff strategy has plunged the world into a more serious trade confrontation, and that the United States may weaken its economy due to isolation. News focus TSMC broke out of a 2nm process secret leak case, and a number of former employees were suspected of obtaining and leaking more than 1,000 process photos during their employment, and the data flowed to a former TSMC engineer at Tokyo Power Technology, TEL, a major Japanese equipment manufacturer. The Intellectual Property Prosecution Branch of the Supreme People's Procuratorate confirmed that the case was discovered by TSMC on its own initiative, and at least 9 engineers were involved, 3 of whom were detained and banned for violating the national security law. TSMC has fired relevant employees and initiated legal proceedings to protect the world's most advanced 2nm process technology and maintain the competitiveness of Taiwan's semiconductor industry. News focus in April this year, the quality of food was exposed to a sharp decline in the quality of food, and players could only eat stew or bento boxes outside the stir-fry store, and the food budget was low and heavy oil and salty, and the nutrition was difficult to meet the standard. The team promised to improve at the time, but the situation did not improve after 4 months, and even the players were shocked by the discovery of dead flies and live maggots in the lunch sea-based tofu on August 2. The player revealed that most of the meals are processed products such as sausages and squid balls, and the supplier cannot be changed due to low budget. The team responded that it has solemnly asked manufacturers to strengthen food safety, and will conduct random inspections from time to time, promising to provide safer and more nutritious catering. News focus there is a 9 million house in Dan District, Taipei, 10 rooms with 3 parking spaces, only 150,000 yuan per ping, adjacent to the MRT Lingguang station. The owner emphasizes that you can grow vegetables and raise chickens, and the living environment is like an urban peach blossom garden. However, experts remind that the house is an old settlement, the price is lower than the market price, and the legality of the building and land use zoning should be confirmed before purchase to avoid illegal construction or farmland restrictions. News focus internet celebrity Pineapple was shot 12 times by an unknown person on the evening of July 15, when no one was injured in his wife's companionship, and Pineapple responded in a low-key manner afterwards. Recently, a video leaked that his Yulan and Pingdong beverage shops were splashed with feces by men in black, and the police investigation found that the Yulan case was a mud liquid, and the Pingdong case was arrested due to the poor attitude of the clerk. The cheese store was also splashed with red paint in March, and the shooting case is still under investigation, and the police continue to pursue the suspect, which has aroused great concern from the outside world. News focus A fire broke out in a residential building in Nantan District, Taichung City late at night on the 5th, and a man about 40 years old fled to the balcony on the 9th floor to call for help, but was engulfed to death by the fire because he had no escape equipment. The sound of the fire and explosion woke up hundreds of residents to escape, and witnesses were shocked to see the man trapped on the balcony helplessly calling for help, and finally died. The fire brigade dispatched 15 vehicles and 40 people, and the fire was extinguished within about 10 minutes. The police are investigating the cause of the fire, and the identity and cause of death of the deceased are to be further confirmed. News focus A family tragedy occurred at 1 a.m. on the 6th in Sanhe Village, Shui Shui Township, Qi County, where a woman surnamed Huang angrily stabbed Zhuang Nan in the chest and back with a knife because of an argument with her husband Zhuang Nan, causing him to lie down on the spot and die in a pool of blood. At the time of the incident, 3 young children witnessed a horrific scene, and the Social Affairs Bureau urgently intervened to resettle them. The couple has 3 sons, and the relationship is usually not harmonious, and conflicts are suspected to break out due to economic and childcare issues. The police brought Huang Nu back for interrogation, and the whole case was investigated as a homicide, and reported to the prosecution to confirm the cause of death. News Focus: the goddess of the secondary vocational cheerleading team is very popular, and even Wang Yuxin, the director of International Bridge Club, was also recruited. Director Wang recently made an appointment with a general character generation to talk about business in Taipei's Bahai Fishing Village, but was asked to join the list of 4 popular Taiwanese and Korean cheerleading goddesses, which made him dumbfounded and shouted, "Kick Gongbei." Director Wang humorously complained, "Even if you can make an appointment with them, why do you still ask you? And Taiwan Steel Falcon Xiaoan was unfair, why is there no her?" This dream dinner sparked heated discussions among netizens, laughing that the lineup was comparable to a draft feast. News Focus: American actress Kelly Mack died of central nervous system glioma on August 2 at the age of 33. Neurosurgeon Yan Junlin pointed out that glioma is a primary brain tumor with high malignancy, especially the 4th grade is the most serious, with a short course and death within about 18 months. This disease is more common in middle-aged people in their 50s and may be related to ionizing radiation. Patients often have progressively worsening headaches, vomiting, midnight headaches, and epilepsy symptoms. The disease cannot be cured, and is currently controlled by surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and targeted methods, and the diagnosis is mainly based on MRI. News Focus: the name contains the words Zi, Xian, Ran, Ning, Xi, Hung, Zi, etc., and is regarded as an auspicious character symbolizing blessings and wealth. These words represent tenacity and growth, lofty ambitions, natural harmony, inner stability, brightness and prosperity, precious elegance and grace nourishment, which can bring career success, financial stability and interpersonal smoothness to the owner. Adding these words to the name is believed to help open the door to a lucky and happy life. News Focus: Amnesty Day is regarded as the most auspicious day of the year, symbolizing God forgives disasters, which is the best time to change luck, eliminate disasters, and seek wealth. There will be a total of 6 Amnesty Days in 2025, and August 7 is not only the beginning of autumn, but also the day of amnesty, which is particularly auspicious. On the same day, you can worship the Jade Emperor, and prepare vegetarian biscuits, longan, tea, and other offerings, sincere repentance and prayer, which will help your wishes come true. In addition, the day of amnesty is also suitable for changing wallets, wearing new clothes, cutting hair, and even boiling water and splashing wealth to help improve wealth and overall fortune. News Focus: August Father's Day restaurant discount ID card matching is back again. As long as your ID card, health insurance card or passport number contains any 2 digits of 5, 2, 8 or the birthday star in August, you can enjoy free luxury dishes if you meet the specified consumption amount, such as 9-hole abalone, all-you-can-eat clams, sea tiger prawns, mullet roe, etc. Participating restaurants include Mela Spicy, New Mela Spicy, Shabu Le Weijiu Hot Pot, Wending Spicy Hot Pot, Meat Large Plate Meat Happiness Pot, Xiangyi Roast Meat, Rammed Weijiu Beef Roast Meat All You Can Eat, Roast Meat Cha Cha and Dog Izakaya Canteen, from 8/1 to 8/31. Eat delicious and cost-effective. News Focus: Golden Song singer Caoge and his ex-wife Wu Suling announced their divorce in November 2022 after 14 years of marriage. Recently, he posted a singing video on social media, affectionately interpreting "Lonely and Lonely is Not Good," which touched many fans, but unexpectedly fished out Caoge's reply "Actually, I haven't forgotten Soling yet," which sparked heated discussions and quickly deleted the message. As early as the 2023 tour, he also expressed his reluctance to give up on his ex-wife with lyric adaptations. The divorce of the two was because they could not understand each other, and the outside world speculated that Caoge's personality, impulsiveness and drunken behavior may be the fuse. News Focus: Vicky and Lee Xin recently appeared on the show to share their parenting experiences. Vicky revealed that she was overly nervous about her daughter's minor illness in the past, and even rushed to the hospital late at night, until she gave birth to her second child. She also shared the thrilling experience of her youngest daughter falling and exposing her fat, which broke her heart. Lee Xin laughed and said that as long as the 4th child still needs to breathe, and shared that when her son wanted to take sick leave, she took him abroad to relax and taught him to cherish stolen happiness. Lee Xin also admitted that he has expectations for his son's studies, but he often feels disappointed because of his grades, and the funny interaction makes people smile. News Focus: Plastic surgery queen Guji successfully fought cancer last year and celebrated her 58th birthday today, with 140 friends gathering to congratulate her. She showed off last year's 3-layer fascia facelift results in hot body. Guji revealed that in addition to cancer, she also suffered from 3 highs and pre-diabetes, but she was optimistic and actively controlled her diet. She continues to have regular check UPS and her cancer index has dropped significantly. Guji loves beauty unremittingly, and plans to have surgery again on her birthday this year to create an ideal body and show strength and confidence. News Focus 57-year-old Shen Yulin was admitted to the 3rd General Intensive Care Unit on the 9th day. The cause is not yet clear, and her friend Pan Ruati clarified that it was not explosive hepatitis or pancreatic cancer, and she needed to wait for the examination report. It is reported that Shen Yulin was sent to the hospital for emergency treatment due to abnormal liver index, and her family was anxious, and his wife Yai once considered holding a press conference to explain the condition and seek Pan Ruati's assistance. Shen Yulin once fasted and jogged to maintain her health, but she has not gained weight and poor appetite in the past 3 months. In his early years, he and his friend Zhang Weizhong went to Kaohsiung General School for a full-body examination, and he was in good health at that time, and the news of his illness surprised his friends. News Focus American actress Kelly Mack died early in her hometown of Cincinnati on August 2 at the age of 33 due to glioma of the central nervous system. She starred in the 9th season of The Walking Dead and participated in the voice of Spider-Man, New Universe heroine Haley Stanfield. The family confirmed on the official IG that she passed away peacefully and will hold a memorial service in Ohio on August 16. Kelly started as a child actress and won the New York University Acting Award for the short film The Elephant Garden, and is also good at dubbing in addition to acting. News Focus 66-year-old Taiwanese singer Cai Ziahe was urgently hospitalized at the end of 2022 due to small intestinal obstruction and was treated with a nasogastric tube, but fortunately recovered well, and was misreported to have passed away from a serious illness a few days ago. Cai Ziahe plans to release a new album and embark on a tour of Southeast Asia, and recently signed up for the gym to strengthen his thigh, shoulder, and pectoral muscle training. News Focus Zhao Lucy and the agency Galaxy Cool Entertainment have been on strike for the 3rd day, and she revealed in the live broadcast today, 5th, that she encountered a low tide 2 years ago. Her father suffered from cancer chemotherapy, and her grandfather passed away. She admitted that she had been questioned by the outside world about not participating in the ceremony, but she chose to protect herself and her family and no longer commented on the unexpected world. Zhao Lucy thanked the fans for their support, saying that she wanted to live for herself, let go of the unhappy things in the past, and bravely face the future. News Focus 75-year-old veteran actress Xue Jiayan was recently rumored to have been defrauded of 200 million yuan by her boyfriend who was 17 years younger, and she clarified through her friend Chen Hong, emphasizing that her net worth was at least 2 billion, and the news content was completely untrue. Xue Jiayan issued a statement saying that rumors on social media about her remarriage, boyfriend change and being defrauded of 200 million are all false, and that she has a happy life and a smooth job, calling on the media to stop false reports and retain the right to pursue legal action. Her friend Chen Hong also praised her for her positive energy and was grateful for her support and care. News Focus US President Trump will make an important announcement in the Oval Office at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, 6th, 4:30 a.m. Taiwan Time on Thursday, but the White House did not disclose the details. There is speculation that Trump may announce a series of tariff measures, including a significant tax increase on India, and may announce an agreement to extend the trade truce with China. In addition, he plans to raise tariffs on the semiconductor, chip industry, and drugs in the next week or so, and drug tariffs may even increase to 250%. News Focus Unified Investment Advisory compiled reports from foreign brokerages and raised the target prices of Haibang, 2,345, FUSDA, 6,805, Honhai, 2,317, and APU, 6,531. Driven by AI accelerators and 800G demand, Haibang's EPS from 2025 to 2027 was revised up to 39.3 to 52.7 yuan, with an evaluation of 25 times PE. FUSDA's revenue in the 3rd quarter increased by 25% quarter-on-quarter, and EPS was raised to 29 to 66.5 yuan. Honha's revenue increased by 17% quarter-on-quarter due to the growth of server shipments, and EPS was raised to 13.9 and 16.8 yuan. APU's performance in the 2nd quarter was better than expected, and mass production of new products in 2028 is imminent, and the EPS for the next year will be raised to 13.3 and 19.3 yuan, maintaining a positive rating. News Focus Formosa Plastics, 1,301, lost 1.04 yuan per share in the 2nd quarter of 2025, and turned a loss into a profit in the first half of the year, with a loss of 1.03 yuan per share, mainly due to weak global demand and cost pressures. The company actively transformed, increasing its capital by 448 million yuan to expand its high-purity electronic-grade hydrofluoric acid production capacity and seize the semiconductor materials market. At the same time, the board of directors approved 1.935 billion yuan of its own capital loans to affiliated enterprises to support operating needs, demonstrating the flexibility of internal resource scheduling. The stock price rebounded by more than 3%, driving the strength of plastic stocks, and investors paid attention to the follow-up operation and transformation results. News Focus highlights-2348, a leading consignment company, pointed out that the central bank's continued credit control has led to a cooling of housing market transactions, with consolidated revenue of 192 million yuan in July, a year-on-year decrease of 24.4% from January to July. Mealy benefited from the Dozumiao Silicon Valley Plan and the development of the high-speed rail special zone, becoming the only transaction growth area in Taiwan in the first half of the year. The new project Hengjun Blooming High-Speed Rail in the district has sold well and has become an indicator of the housing market. Taichung is also favored by Jusahen because of its brand and pattern. Haiyu is optimistic that there is still potential for transactions in the second half of the year that meet the expectations of buyers, and the revenue is diversified and stable. News Focus prosecutors and national security personnel recently cooperated with TSMC to investigate an internal theft case, and the employees involved were suspected of using mobile phones to take confidential information about the 2nm process, and the data flowed to an engineer at Japanese supplier Tokyo Power Technology, TEL. Nearly 9 TSMC employees were found to be involved in the case, 3 of whom were directly fired and the rest were transferred out of their original units. The investigation is highly sensitive, involving TSMC's core technology and national security, and the investigation is ongoing. News Focus US President Trump claimed that TSMC would invest $300 billion to build the world's largest fab in Arizona, and TSMC responded without comment, and relevant information is subject to the company's announcement. The news caused TSMC ADR to fall 2.73%, Taiwan stocks to fall 2.17%, and the market value evaporated by about NT $648.3 billion. TSMC Chairman Wei Zhijia said that the first fab in Arizona has mass-produced the 4nm process in the fourth quarter of 2024, and the second fab adopts 3nm technology and is accelerating mass production. There are plans for 2nm and more advanced technologies in the future, and Arizona is expected to become an important advanced semiconductor manufacturing base in the United States. News Focus Cathay Pacific Airways Flight CX565 from Kansai, Japan to Taipei yesterday had serious delays and baggage detention. Due to load-weight balance issues, the takeoff was delayed twice, and the ground staff asked 70 passengers to take the next day flight, providing 30,000 yen in cash, accommodation subsidy and upgrade coupons. Some passengers accepted, and most insisted on returning to Taiwan on the same day. In the summer vacation peak tourist season, in the event of typhoons or emergencies, flight delays and baggage loss are frequent, and travel insurance is important. It is recommended to purchase additional travel insurance and inconvenience insurance to cover risks such as flight delays, lost baggage, and travel liability, so as to provide more comprehensive protection and ensure safe travel. News Focus: The Ministry of Finance announced the list of winners of the Unified Invoice from May to June 114, and 4 people were lucky to win the lottery for refueling or parking. A gas station in Zhongshan District, Keelung City only spent 100 yuan to refuel, that is, won a special prize of 10 million yuan. Tainan Gairan District Parking spent 30 yuan in 2 million special prizes. Kaohsiung Sanmin District refueled 2 million yuan out of 100 yuan. A parking lot in Datong District, Taipei, spent 20 yuan, and the exclusive prize of Cloud Invoice was 1 million yuan. The winning numbers are 10 million special prize 47406327 and 2 million special prize 05579058 respectively. News Focus: South Korean actress Hong Jin-kyung became popular because of Single as Hell, and it was recently rumored that she divorced her entrepreneur husband, who was 5 years older than her, ending her 22-year marriage. According to the Korean media dispatch, the two sides were not at fault, and after full discussion, they separated peacefully, and their daughter Rail also supported her parents' decision. The two have completed the divorce procedures, but still maintain a good relationship, and the ex-husband often visits Hong Zhenqing, and the in-laws have not changed. Hong Zhenqing debuted as a model in 1993, stepped into variety shows, dramas and YouTube, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, came back after recovery, and recently rose in popularity with the show. News Focus: The Taiwan People's Party celebrates its founding day today, August 6, which is also the birthday of former chairman Kei Wen's. In response to concerns about whether to maintain the 2-year clause, party legislator Huang Shanshan said that the party group has established a sound system, emphasizing that although Wang Angxiang, a non-district legislator, is an amateur, he has industry and labor expertise, participates in weekly meetings and actively provides policy suggestions, and is the immediate combat power of the National Assembly. Huang Shanshan stressed that the People's Party continues to adhere to the concept of the wisdom of the people surpasses the individual, bringing together diverse professions to form a strong team and committed to supervising the government and defending the public interest. News Focus: Cathay Pacific Flight CX565 was delayed for more than 3 hours yesterday, 5th, from Osaka, Japan to Taipei, and in order to adjust the load balance of the aircraft, 70 passengers were asked to take the next day flight, and 30,000 yen in cash, 20,000 yen in accommodation subsidy and upgrade coupons as compensation. Although the flight arrived safely in the evening, the entire luggage did not arrive in Taiwan randomly, and the passengers only learned that their luggage was stranded in Japan after disembarking, causing dissatisfaction. Cathay Pacific said that the baggage will be delivered by mail as soon as possible, and the exact time cannot be guaranteed, and passengers can apply for compensation with the documents. The airline apologized for the incident and stressed that baggage unloading was based on safety and considerations, and checked baggage could be carried on subsequent flights according to the terms. News Focus Shen Yulan was urgently admitted to the Taipei No. 3 General Intensive Care Unit on July 29 due to explosive hepatitis, and after examination, liver and pancreatic problems have been ruled out, and the hepatitis has been controlled, but the white blood cells are too high and the internal organs are damaged, and she has now been transferred to the Department of Hematology and Oncology for further diagnosis and treatment. The medical team arranged computed tomography, blood, and PET imaging, and set up drainage tubes to drain ascites. Shen Yulan has recently turned on a red light due to heavy work and hard life, and is actively undergoing treatment. News Focus: a 30-year-old woman surnamed Huang in Shui Township, Qi County, argued with her 36-year-old husband Zhuang over money and children in the early hours of this morning, and committed murder at home with a fruit knife. Police investigated that both parties had precarious jobs, had 3 children, and had reported domestic violence many times in the past. The deceased's brother said that the husband and wife often quarreled, and Huang Nu had been sent to the police for murder. News Focus: the internet celebrity doctor surnamed Wang performed 2 cases of gastric reduction and intestine reduction surgery within 10 days, both of which resulted in death, which aroused strong concern from his family and society. The victim's family criticized the doctor for filming the surgical video only emphasizing success and not informing him of the risks, and the fee was suspected of being collected from personal accounts, which was suspected of tax evasion. Legislator Chen Jinghui asked the Ministry of Health and Welfare to conduct a special investigation, and Minister of Health and Welfare Chu Taiyuan responded that he would strictly handle it and cooperate with the judicial investigation to ensure that similar incidents did not happen again. News Focus: TSMC broke out of the insider case, and 3 engineers were suspected of leaking key technology of the 2nm process to Japanese supplier Tokyo Power Science and Technology, and were investigated and detained by the Supreme People's Procuratorate under the National Security Law. This is the first case involving national core technology after the amendment, and the prosecution has carried out national security level monitoring of bamboo cafes and drivers on duty outside high-speed rail stations. TSMC's information security system discovered abnormal behavior and promptly exposed the insiders. The engineer involved in the case used a laptop to connect to the company's intranet to remake confidential information, raising information security alerts. The prosecution and investigation will continue to investigate to strictly prevent technology leakage from endangering national security. News Focus: Domino's and Pizza Hut continue to clash over the Volcano Pizza trademark dispute. Domino's announced on the 4th that it had filed a lawsuit against Pizza Hut, saying that it was the original creator of Volcano Pizza and took legal action. Pizza Hut counterattacked on the 6th, saying that Domino's is not the first in the market, and similar products have already been circulated, and Domino's application for the Volcano Pizza trademark has been rejected by the Intellectual Property Bureau, and the trademark is not recognizable. Pizza Hut emphasized that Domino's claims of originality and copyright protection were untrue, and that it had not received formal legal documents, questioning that Domino's was publicizing by confusing the public, and would continue to adhere to its brand value, and expected rational consumers to make fair judgments. News Focus: TBC Taiwan Broadband announced on the evening of the 5th that due to the unauthorized authorization of the original channel agent, Discovery, 8 first channels, 8 comprehensive channels and TVBS Happy Channel will be suspended from 6 a.m. on the 6th. And the original frequency will be replaced by Love Nature, Rock Entertainment, Rock Extreme, and Jingtian Comprehensive Channel. TBC said that this move is to protect the rights and interests of users, but the sudden change may attract the attention of viewers. The affected areas include Dawan, Hsinchu, Mieli, and Taichung. News Focus: 55-year-old Ning's mother and 28-year-old Zheng Nu mistakenly believed that the fraud group impersonated Chai Shu brothers to invest, and committed suicide after losing more than 12 million yuan. At the time of the report, the police officer surnamed Lu, who was in charge of the Gangjian police station, once said, "You won't commit suicide, right?" and other inappropriate words, causing controversy. Lu Yuan was recorded for a major demerit, transferred and sent a letter for suicide in accordance with the criminal law. The prosecution launched restorative justice, and Lu Yuan apologized in tears and was forgiven by his family, and finally did not prosecute. The disciplinary court sentenced him to a 6-month suspension. News Focus: TSMC's 2nm technology was leaked, and the engineer involved was arrested on the spot on suspicion of violating the national security law for economic espionage in the remake of confidential information at Zook Starbucks. The prosecution alleges that 2 engineers surnamed Wu colluded with former employees surnamed Chen who had left their jobs to illegally obtain and leak key national process technology, which is suspected of flowing to foreign competitors. TSMC's Information Security Department dismissed the personnel involved in the case after discovering the abnormality, and the prosecution arrested 3 people at the end of July and detained them. News focus: in the early morning of the 6th, a 30-year-old woman surnamed Huang slashed each other with a fruit knife when she argued with her 36-year-old husband surnamed Chuang. The couple are both delivery workers with 3 young children, and they have been quarreling over economic and childcare issues for a long time, which is suspected to be the main cause of the conflict, and the exact motive is still to be investigated by the police. News focus: aging odor is a special body odor produced by the oxidation of sebum to produce 2-nonol with age, which gradually becomes more obvious from the age of 40, and is more pronounced in men than in women. Causes include slower metabolism, hormonal changes, decreased antioxidant capacity, and dietary habits. Prevention can start with daily cleaning, especially behind the ears, back of the neck and other places where sebum tends to accumulate, hydration, exercise, bathing and drinking fennel tea, as well as changing clothes frequently and keeping the environment ventilated. If the odor persists and is accompanied by abnormal symptoms, you should seek medical attention as soon as possible. News focus: Su Guanggan, a well-known actor and national husband, enlisted in the army on August 20, 2024, and was officially discharged on August 6 after serving in the Nantazhongsing New Village Public Welfare Ambassador Corps for nearly a year. At noon that day, many fans were waiting at the scene, including Korean female fans who came to Taiwan to support. Su Guanggan appeared in black clothes and a peaked hat, and said in an interview with the media that he lived a fulfilling and healthy life during his service, thanked all units for taking care of him, and revealed that this time allowed him to precipitate and organize his thoughts, and he will devote himself to filming and publicity activities in the future to try to adapt to the new life. News focus: since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the HIV infection rate in the Russian army has surged by about 20 times, with an increase of 2,000%. Reasons include blood transfusions for wounded soldiers, repeated use of needles in field hospitals, and unsafe sex and drug use among soldiers. Russia has jumped to the top 5 in the world in terms of new HIV infections, contrary to the global downward trend. The report pointed out that political decision-making is also the main reason, with the Russian government blocking prevention and control organizations such as the Elton Strong Foundation and weakening medical and educational resources, and experts worry that the epidemic will have a long-term impact on the Russian population and economy. News focus: President Lai Ching-te reiterated at the opening ceremony of the Kita Grand Forum today that the government will maintain the status quo to ensure peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. He pointed out that since taking office, he has actively promoted the 4 pillars of Peace Action Plan, including strengthening national defense, building economic security, demonstrating stable and principled cross-strait leadership, and promoting value diplomacy. This statement comes at a time when UMC founder CAO Xing Cheng called for the establishment of the state of Taiwan, which attracted attention from the outside world. News focus: DPP legislator Wang Yushuan recently said in a political commentary program that Taichung will distribute 40,000 yuan as a fake issue, and demonstrated the steps of creating and spreading false information, causing controversy. Subsequently, he posted on the community saying, "Those who do not obey orders, get out," which was considered to be a secret criticism of fellow party legislator Wang Shijian. Wang Shijian previously called for the withdrawal of the 823 recall case to avoid social tiering. Former legislator Shen Fuqiang criticized that the non-district legislator nominated by the party chairman asked the comrades to get out, bluntly saying, "Who should roll? Shut up and do the math yourself." News focus: the agent of the well-known YouTube channel Zhang Jitong posted on Threads on August 5, confirming that the studio was about to be disbanded, but emphasized that the channel would not be closed, but would only switch to a personal business model to avoid excessive pressure on the studio's operation. He said that after evaluating YouTube traffic and advertising ecology, it was decided to make Zhang Jitong develop more flexibly in the future, and at the same time give employees severance pay that is better than the statutory to protect their rights and interests. The podcast will end in the last week of August and will be changed to monthly membership paid content from September. Ji will still serve as an agent, but instead outsourcing cooperation, and thanks fans for their support, hoping that the channel can continue to develop steadily. News focus: the beginning of autumn of the 24 solar terms comes on August 7, Thursday, and this year it especially coincides with the leap June and the day of amnesty, and the magnetic field is special, which is a good time to dispel evil and transfer. Numerologist Liao Dai reminded that zodiac dragons, dogs, oxes, sheep, as well as men with a lunar age of 9 and women with a lunar age of 6, should stay indoors or wear a hat at noon, 11 a.m. to 13 p.m., on the day of the beginning of autumn to avoid evil spirits. That day is also the day of amnesty, but you can sincerely repent to the Jade Emperor and ask for amnesty, or distribute shelled eggs to symbolize transportation. In addition, cutting hair, visiting temples, and donating blood in the 3 days before and after the beginning of autumn can also help change luck and welcome good luck in the second half of the year. News focus: according to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, eating 50 grams of processed meat per day increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. Processed meats such as bacon, sausages, ham, etc. contain nitrates, which can be converted into carcinogens after being digested by the human body. Red meat can also produce carcinogens when cooked at high temperatures. The UK recommends no more than 70 grams of red and processed meat per day. Studies have shown that long-term consumption of ultra-processed foods can lead to constipation, insomnia, obesity, cognitive and cardiovascular function decline, and pose a serious threat to health. News focus: menopausal women often panic about breast cancer, but ignore metabolic abnormalities such as high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and hyperlipidemia, which are actually the invisible killers of cardiovascular disease, and the risk of death is even higher than that of breast cancer. Cardiovascular risk increases greatly in women after menopause, and hormone supplementation and dietary adjustment are the key to prevention. Doctors also remind that if breast cancer is screened and treated early, the cure rate is high. Breast cancer screening should be done regularly from the age of 40, especially if you have a family history of the disease.